we are using a filter here which is looking directly down to the surface of the sun. So congratulations to all in Newquay and in Skegness who are getting these lovely views. These sunspots actually are quite topical because, well, recently we've had a Northern Lights. That's right. So sunspots are related to these extraordinary magnetic storms that occur on the sun, which can, in some cases, throw out an enormous amount of material into the solar system. And if that material collides with the Earth, it becomes trapped in our magnetic field and focused fired at the poles. So we see these beautiful polar lights, like the Northern Lights, about 80 miles above our head, as these highly energetic solar particles slam into the air, making it quite literally heat up and glow. So here we have a sunspot, and this sunspot that we're looking at here is a storm that is going to be about the same size as the Earth. You can actually tell just from a cursory measurement here. So this is an enormous magnetic storm in the surface of the sun. This is the kind of structure on the sun that would be capable of producing an enormous amount of energy and sending a burst of northern lights our way.
John, give us a long view here. I mean, you know, for centuries, for millennia, when this happened, people looked to the heavens and were agog, and they saw it as a bad omen. They saw it, you know, the Chinese thought it was a dragon devouring the sun. Similar beliefs in other parts of the world as well. When did we start to unfathom the mystery of what was actually happening in the heavens? 300 years ago, thereabouts?
Well, I would suggest even further than that, actually. We don't give quite enough credit to the astronomy of ancient Greece. In ancient Greece, going back at least 2,500 years, we have very good records of predicted eclipses, astronomers being able to figure out when eclipses would occur, having a very good handle on the orbit of the moon, and at this time I think they had also begun to measure the size of the solar system in a rudimentary way. So they had determined that the sun was a distant object, the moon was a rather closer one. I think at this point the idea that the sun and moon were deities colliding in the sky was already beginning to erode. But of course, fast forward to the Renaissance period and to the birth of modern science, and we have astronomers like John Flamsteed from here at the Royal Observatory, who did a tremendous amount of work on eclipses. Throughout our history here in Greenwich, we've been sending expeditions to explore eclipses, and actually they've been well understood since then and have been used to discover lots of other things as well. So George Airy, who worked here at the Royal Observatory, used eclipses not to study the moon at all, but actually to study the sun. He was using them to study storms leaping off the side of the sun. So we've been able to understand eclipses for a long time, and I think the fear of eclipses has left us quite a long time ago. But of course, throughout most of human history, eclipses would have been absolutely terrifying events to observe. Yeah. Absolutely extraordinary.
We watch it in wonder, that's for sure, still, but we do so knowing that it's an entirely benign event, though a remarkable one for reasons already explored. The fact it's a spring equinox, a supermoon, and the eclipse as well. We can go to Skegness. You're seeing the right view picture there, the images from just beyond first contact in Skegness in Lincolnshire. Let's go to Emma Birchley, who's there on the ground. Emma.
8 minutes ago that first little nibble was taken out of the sun here in Skegness, and it'll be about an hour's time from now when we will see the maximum coverage we're going to get here, which is around 86%, and then by 8:42 the moon will have passed all the way from right to left and off the other side of the sun, leaving that perfect view of the sun again. It really has been very fortunate because an hour ago we had cloud here, and then it all burnt off and we were left with this really quite magnificent view, the ability to see this eclipse. The next time we're going to be able to see anything like this in Britain is in August 2026, with the next total eclipse in 2090. So this really a very rare chance. I've got my special glasses on, which enables me to look up at the sun, but even with these on, there's a little warning printed on the sign saying you're only allowed a maximum of 3 minutes before it will cause damage to your eye. But really an amazing view here in Skegness.
It's absolutely lovely. Emma, thanks very much indeed. Emma Birchley there in Skegness. It's pot luck really as to where we get a view like the one we're getting from Skegness and from Newquay. We've got camera crews deployed across the UK and beyond indeed as well. The Faroe Islands were a fairly solid bet for a while for clear skies there. Thousands of people have travelled up to the Faroe Islands, Danish territory, in hope and expectation that they'd get a view. In fact, let's, by happy serendipity, let's cross to Ian Woods, who is on the Faroe Islands. Ian, what can you see?
Colin, more and more people gathering now because we're just about to reach the point where we'll get our first contact. Everything is a little bit delayed the further north you go. We're around about 10 minutes behind what you've been seeing in, first of all in Spain and then of course in the UK as well. But But we had a moment of excitement about 5 or 6 minutes ago when we saw the sun for the first time. It has been a pretty depressing morning with a lot of rain, a lot of grey cloud, and then suddenly the sun broke through for a few minutes. We were all able to get our glasses out and take a look and think, oh, we might be on for something exciting after all. And it really will be a complete lottery, because there are times this morning where we have seen great big patches of blue sky, and you just want that blue sky to coincide with the moment that the sun is reaching its total eclipse. And the sun, right on, has come out, and we can see it now. Now, if it was to be like this in just over an hour's time, we would have the best on land where you can witness a total eclipse. One of them is here on the Faroe Islands, and the other is in the far north of Norway. So around about 10,000 tourists have supplemented the population of 50,000 here to try to get the views. People are now starting to come down. They're bringing their cameras. A lot of people had been able to, in terms of the cruise liners, in terms of planes, and then of course people have been sort of doing last-minute journeys as well. But the forecast all week has been pretty gloomy. Nobody thought they would really be able to see anything. Even some of the cruise liners, which were moored up overnight in the harbour here,